Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to East Co Brewing, and welcome to part 2 of the Mr. Beer Northwest Pale Ale. So tonight what we're going to do is we're going to bottle up the Northwest Pale Ale that we've had fermenting, and then we're also going to do a taste test. So we're going to do that all in this one video instead of waiting for another video to do the taste test. I'll let it age, and then all in the same video we'll do the taste test as well. So what are we doing? Well, we're having a home brew, that's for sure. That's a tasty one. This is a Cooper's Real Ale that actually was one left in a batch that I did about 8 months ago, and I found one left I didn't even know I had. So check out, there's a video called I Found My Lost Beer on the channel. Check that out, it's kind of cool. But anyways, so we've gone ahead, and what I did is I've sanitized all my bottles. This stuff's been sitting for just about 2.5 weeks, so it's ready to bottle. But you know what I'm going to do? We're going to take a hydrometer reading, and we're going to see what happens here to see what our final gravity is going to be, to figure out what our alcohol is. So we got our hydrometer. We're going to take a little taste test out of it, or a tester. We'll do a taste test too, though. Right. There we go. Make sure it doesn't drip too much. Just got some foam at the top here, but we should be able to... You know what? I'm going to let this settle down for a bit and we'll check it after. We'll just put that aside here. So I've gone ahead and sanitized all the bottles. It's a very important part of the whole brewing process, along with having a home brew while you're making home brew, of course, right? So we've gone ahead and done that. I'm using the big boys today. These are the 1 liter bottles because, hey, less bottles to clean, less bottles to fill. And honestly, when I crack a beer, you know, I kind of feel like having 2. So there you go. You got 2 pints in here. So, you know, 1,000 milliliters, 1 liter, 2 pints, wherever you're from, it's a couple of beer. So I like using the 1 liter bottles sometimes. So that's what we're going to go ahead and use tonight. And I'm also using to prime them with is the Cooper's or the Mr. Beer carbonation drops. Now when you buy the Mr. Beer kits, sometimes they come with these carbonation drops. You've probably seen in a couple of the other videos I've done, use the carbonation drops. I use dextrose corn sugar too, like teaspoon it in or whatever, or bulk priming. But whenever these come with the kit, I always use them because I've said it before, they carbonate your beer perfectly every single time. So they're a little bit more pricey to buy than just using dextrose corn sugar, but man, they work. So, you know, if they come with the kit, use them, or if you want to buy them, go ahead. You won't be sorry. So I've got the bottles already pre-filled. I've put the right measured amount that they call for, which is 2.5 carbonation drops for a 1 liter bottle. And basically what we're going to do is we're just going to get them started off here. We're going to start filling them. So basically, I've got the Mr. Beer keg here. You'll see it on a bit of an angle. I put a book under the end there, so that way you get, you know, you don't have it sitting flat and you get a bunch of beer left in the bottom. This is perfectly angled so that you don't get any of the sediment in the bottom, but you still get all of your beer. So let's go ahead and start filling these guys up. I love these Mr. Beer kegs. They're just perfect for making small batches and filling them up. It's just so easy. Now, if you haven't checked out part 1 where we actually brew this Northwest Pale Ale, I'm going to put a link in the bottom. You guys can check that out. Oh yeah, there we go. We're just going to go ahead and cap that. I know, I do it every time. You've seen it in the other videos, but I give the bottle a squeeze to get all the oxygen out, and then I cap her. It's just the way I do it. It works out perfectly every time. You should give it a try if you're using PET bottles. It's awesome. Give it a good turn. You don't need to over tighten it. You know, just give it a good turn. As long as you know you're not getting any air in there. And then just give it a little bit of an invert, you know. Get the carbonation drops or the corn sugar, your primer, all mixed up in there nice. And you're ready to rock and roll. Boom, just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to refill all these bottles. You guys don't need to see me filling every single one. So I'm going to fill these up and then I'll be back. And we'll check that specific gravity as well, okay? Okay guys, we've finished up all of our bottles. We got them all filled up. We got them capped. We've got them inverted. They are ready to go. I'm going to let them sit now for probably about 2 weeks, and then we'll give them a taste test. Maybe 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. We'll see how it's going. But we'll be back to show you, or not be back. I'll be back in a couple seconds for you guys. But for me, I got to go and wait for these guys to condition, which sucks. I hate waiting for that. But anyways, it'll be worth it. So I tested the final gravity, and it came out at a 1.012. So in the next video when I'm doing the taste test, I'll tell you what that equates out to for a alcohol content. We started off with 1.051 and we ended with 1.012. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be around a 4.9% alcohol. That's just my guess. Maybe 5. So let's give it a little taste to see what it tastes like. That's gonna be a good pale ale. For sure it is. You remember back in part 1, we brewed this with 250 grams of dry malt extract, as well as we put an additional hops in there as well. So I can't remember what we put in there. Columbus hops and Glacier hops, an ounce of each. No, half an ounce of each. Yes, so for 1 ounce, we did a half ounce of Glacier and Columbus, I believe. No, wait, it was Northern Brewer and Glacier. Anyways, check out part 1 and you'll know exactly what I put in there. Sometimes, you know, you got so much time in between, you can't remember exactly what you put in them. But anyway, long story short, this tastes pretty amazing, but it's going to taste even better once it's carbonated and once it's aged a bit. You know what sucks is my beer is empty. So we got a nice cold one just came out of the fridge, and this sounds good. This is the Diablo IPA that we brewed quite a while back. If you check out the channel, you'll check out the brewing and tasting of this one. And this one turned out amazing. Honestly, it is the best IPA extract brew kit that I've ever made. It tastes absolutely amazing. Check that out. This is... That's pretty dark, actually. It's more of a ruby red. You can't tell there. I'll put a light. If I had a light here, I'd put it behind it. But it's more of a ruby, well, dark red. It's more of a red ale, but it's an IPA. It's the Diablo IPA. What we did is we added in 2 additional ounces of hops and some dry malt extract, and it turned out absolutely awesome. Wow. You know, this IPA is just like I go to my, you know, one of my local brew pubs here, asking for an IPA. This is exactly what I get. Man, when you can make it yourself and it turns out this good and at a fraction of the cost of what beer costs, especially here in Canada, beer is crazy expensive. It's taxed. Like, our government taxes beer and alcohol like unbelievable. So when you can make it yourself and it's this good, awesome. Alright, we'll be right back and we're going to do the taste test on the Northern Brewer. Northern Brewer. You've had a little bit too much, eh? Too many home brews. The Northwest Pale Ale from Mr. Beer. I'm looking forward to trying it. We'll be right back. Alright, we are back and it has been 28 days. What? Yeah, I actually kind of took my time on putting together the taste test for the Northwest Pale Ale because I tried it after 2 weeks. I didn't like it. I'd be honest with you. Didn't like it. And then I tried it, you know, a couple more times. And I'm sorry I didn't try it with you guys for the first time, but then I let them sit for a while and I decided, okay. So I tried it at 3 weeks and it was getting kind of better. So I decided, hey, let's go one more week. 4 weeks to the day we bottled this Northwest Pale Ale. So let's give it a shot. Let's take it for a spin and see what happens. There we go. I know, I kind of screwed that cap on a little tight. It's got some good carbonation though, I'll tell you. Those carbonation drops, like I was telling you before, they're awesome. So let's give this a pour. Now I'm definitely thinking that the Northwest Pale Ale is one you're going to want to age. Okay? Look at the color of that. That is beautiful. Nice clarity. Beautiful clarity. Not much head retention. We put in that malt extract, dry malt extract, and you know, but it is what it is. Pretty good carbonation though. You can definitely smell the Northern Brewer hops and the Glacier hops in it. More so than Northern Brewer. So, decently malty, you know. I mean, like I said, I'm not a professional beer taster, so, you know, if it tastes good, I'll be like, it tastes good. If it doesn't taste good, I'll be like, it doesn't. So, let's go take it for a spin. Definitely have to let it age. That is not bad at all. I'll be honest with you though, it's still not my favorite pale ale. I don't know why. There's just something in the taste of this. I don't know if it was the actual, maybe I should do a Mr. Beer Northwest Pale Ale with no additional hops or malt extracts and see how it tastes. But to me, it really has that home brewy kind of taste. And if you're a home brewer, you know what I'm talking about. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Some of the beers I've made before have got the, you know, the home, you can tell it's a home brew, but it tastes amazing. This one, I mean, it's good. It's drinkable, but to me, it's not my favorite. I don't know, maybe it's, for a pale ale, I think it's a little heavy on the malt. It's just, the malt is very overpowering in this. Like I said, we put in an extra ounce of hops, so half an ounce of Glacier and half ounce of Northern Brewer, and I'm not really, I got a little bit of the aroma of them, but not a lot of the bittering, not a lot of taste of them at all. So I mean, maybe you could amp up your hops and put more hops in, or maybe just leave it alone. I don't know. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do a Northwest Pale Ale from Mr. Beer, you know, just straight up with no additional stuff and see how it turns out. I mean, like I said, I'll drink it. Don't get me wrong, I'll drink it as beer. But it's not a type of beer I'm going to go reaching for. It's okay. But I guess I got to finish that whole 1 liter bottle, don't I? Can't waste it. So, here's to Thirsty Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. Weekend. It's going to be a good time. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff this summer. It is spring here now, sort of. It's March, so it's starting to get towards spring. Snow's starting to melt, you know. So we're going to be doing a lot of barbecuing. I'm going to do some barbecue videos. So make sure you subscribe. I think you'll really enjoy it. And you know what? If you don't like it, you can always unsubscribe. So that being said, I hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, cheers.